Hello everyone, welcome to Black Arrow Gaming. I'm Bob, and this is the 8th episode in my second Age of Wonders 3 Advanced Strategy series. In the last episode, I kind of finished cleaning up the mess with the orc cities over here, cleared some structures so that they have some room to expand. That one's not... Okay, yeah, that one's cleared too. Just kind of getting this prepared to help boost my economy. And as you can see already, the 3 gold mines in my territory now are helping to generate more gold. I'm getting a lot of gold now, which is going to tie into some of what I'm going to talk about here in a second. There are a number of comments I want to go through before we get too deep into this. As always, more good ideas from all of you guys. Figure I'll just start going through in order. Tufik Abbas, he told me, and others have told me this before, if you go to your inventory with items that are inbound, you can actually place them on your hero. So acid, well actually that's not a good example. Here we go, the Fell Horse. Even though she doesn't have it yet, the Fell Horse, when it gets to her, will automatically, she'll automatically be riding on it. So I want to try to remember to do that whenever I can, just get in that habit. Nice little tip there. Dier Airship and Borbali, they were talking about the race governance upgrades and what the next one that I should get is. I told them I'd reevaluate this because I think they have some decently good points. If you look at this, and I mentioned this in the last episode, the Draconian support units can become 20% cheaper if I get the Champion Military. The Champion Economic is my leader, and all Draconian heroes receive plus 10 casting points each. The balance between, I was kind of leaning towards this one, but now that I think about it, with the amount of support units that I'm going to be making, this one really is a better longer term option. So I'll probably go that route when I get it, simply because I'm going to be producing so many apprentices, especially for a sorcerer. It's kind of hard to pass up on that one. So I think I can let the casting points, I'll just get them through other means. The sorcerer has a lot of ways to get casting points. So I think that's a valid point and a good idea there. Borbali also pointed out that the Dreadnought, which I believe he's referring to one of the Frostling Sorcerer's heroes that we saw in the last episode, he has Forge Aprons, which gives his whole army plus 40% fire resistance. I'm going to have to plan for that since most of my units do fire damage. Very heavy on fire damage as a Draconian. Borbali also mentioned that it might be a good idea to start making apprentices soon. The capital can make them because it already has the Sorcerer's Conflicts to start with. I was kind of thinking about what to do here because I am still trying to get the research to get the Embrace Darkness spell, but it only takes one turn to get apprentices, and because I have all this extra money, I may as well make some down here now, even though in the long term I'm going to be making them at this city with the magic library and the embalmers, the Forbidden Sanctum. I'll be making them here in the long run, but in the short term I definitely need some backup to help protect my armies. So I'll probably get them, and then may get the Empire upgrade that gives support units inflict stun, because that would pair well. And I could start making these guys as early as the next turn in my capital city, which I think would probably be worth it. The amount of production it takes to make one, I'm not sure, but I think I'll probably be okay. That city has quite a bit of production. I may build the Masters Guild first to be on the safe side, but it's difficult to tell for sure. The city's really happy now too, and that's part of the reason. If the happiness ever goes down, it'd probably take me 2 turns to make them. So I'll just go ahead and make the Masters Guild there now. I think that would be a good idea. In this city, I expect, or I want to make a human settler and go and place a city out in this area. I want to try to get the borders over this quarry here before this city's borders expand to it. And I think I can do that pretty easily. The reason being is I'm going to use this as a navy city to make a little bit better boats. There's a number of other things I could make in this city too that'd be pretty good with the combination of the dungeon right here and the enchanting tree right here. I suppose there is... Oh, right, there's this other Yeah, there's this other quarry over here, which might be a better one. I think I'd put the city probably in this spot to spread out a little bit more. It would still get that dungeon eventually. Anyway, I kind of need to do that pretty soon too. Maybe what I'll do on that note is instead of producing the Masters Guild here, I'll wait and see if I can make sorcerers in one turn and actually just build the settler for another city now. The borders do shrink, but it doesn't really matter because I haven't cleared that structure anyway, and I do want to keep growing. I don't want to stop for too long. Alright, back over here to the former orc capital. I could start making raptors at this city in one turn, which might not be a bad idea. I want to make sure I have enough money to continue upgrading this city as fast as I can, since most of my best units are going to come out of there, but that's got plenty of time. I have plenty of money to spend, so I'm going to go ahead and grab a few Draconian Raptors. Just want to buff the front line a little bit, especially because I realize that my King's Army is going to have other things to do than go to the front line to fight, so I'm going to need to rely on other units. The King's Army needs to go clear that dungeon and clear the Forbidden Sanctum so they're ready when the city's borders grow. Also need to clear the Magic Library, so basically just clearing structures around this city. I've already got the... oh no, I haven't explored that yet. I can get that Ancient Ruins along the way too, which is something I was kind of planning on doing anyway. So I'll send them up in that direction. The Tigers and all of these other units are headed to the front line. I may as well get the Haste Berries along the way. And just keep them moving right along. A couple of other things I wanted to mention as I'm preparing to fight the Frostlings over here. It would probably be useful once I figure out which city they're attacking to remember that I can cast Glyphs of Warding on that city wherever they're going. Might be worth just casting it now anyway, just so that my cities have some defense, something eating at the enemy units as they're moving in on them. I think this city might be a good candidate for it, since in kind of a tough spot for me to defend. The mountain range is not positioned very well. I can see if there's anything else that I would rather be summoning first, but nothing really jumps out at me. Dome of Protection's always nice. I've invoked Extraordinary Mount a couple times. Could always seek inspiration to try to get what I'm working towards, but I don't necessarily need to do that yet. Actually, I don't know. That's something worth considering, because I've got a feeling those Empire upgrades are going to be there either way. No, wait, I'm going to get School of Enchantment first, because that's something I need ASAP. So I'll hold off on Seek Inspiration, and for now, I'll go ahead and just cast Glyphs of Warding on this city. The borders are pretty big too, so that kind of helps. Okay, and then one last thing that I wanted to mention, one last comment. Patrick Dvorak had pointed out in the last episode when I was confused as to why I couldn't get the Tigrans to go to war with the Frostlings. It's actually a very obvious solution. They haven't met each other yet. That's why there's no option to get them to go to war with the Frostlings. Once they've met each other, that'll become an option. So I'll kind of maybe have to check that every now and then. Whoops. Alright, back over to Red Foss here, my capital city. Since I'm not producing the Draconian apprentices yet or anything else in this city, I'll go ahead. Let's see if we could benefit from a stone wall. Well, I don't have money to do anything else in here on this turn anyway, so merchandise is fine. And I want to use those wisps to kind of keep an eye on the enemy units. In fact, this one can go up here and get those haste berries, which is something I kind of like to do. Ooh, nuts. They have a giant. That's a lot of giants in there. That's a vassal city. A vassal giant city. Yikes. They'll all have mountaineering too, so I want to be careful with that wisp. Probably send it back. I like this spot, kind of here, or back. I think this spot even better. That gives me a good line of sight on this road and would really slow anything down coming after me. That ogre's going to have mountaineering, so it could chase this wisp down if it wanted to. There's the chance that I might actually stun it. Probably not, though. The wisps have static shield, and there's a good chance, even with my 60% physical protection, that ogre is going to probably kill me in 2 hits. Probably 2 hits. So I don't know if that's really a battle I want to fight. I'll move her way back over here. That should be okay. Alright, got my Dwarf Warlord army moving up here. Some units to kind of defend this area. Gonna have them hang out, like I talked about in the last episode, on this tile for the time being. Not a lot of great stuff there. I could probably send them forward and maybe see if I can get the jump on these guys if they run forward. That's probably a battle I could win right now. Alright, and then my third wisp up here. This one I'm going to actually send out and just explore more of the land and try to meet more people. If I'm lucky, I can find someone who has already met the Frostlings. That may open up some opportunities for me diplomatically. Okay, I believe I was sending these guys up to the north, probably to meet up with that other army that's kind of on its way in. The one with the tigers, these units here. For now, I'll just have him go hang out by this city and send this guy to join him. Okay. Vortex run into a city. Everything else looks good. Alright. I'm okay here. Probably could have used a few extra casting points to start casting another spell. I think I had 5 left over after casting the Glyphs of Warding here. Oh, bummer. They're moving up. Oh, they're going after that wisp. Oh, they got a pretty sizable army headed this way. There's the Goblin Dreadnought again. As Borbali had pointed out, has Forge Aprons, plus 40% fire protection. Definitely not good for me, so he's going to be a high priority target. It looks like they're going north now. So I'm going to have to try to intercept that. Oh my gosh. I hope those dragons weren't hostile. Couldn't tell. Who got this? Unknown, turn 27. Alright, well, I'm not going to get that one. Alright, need to figure out where they're going. Prepare a force to counterattack. Should be battling on about even terms here. It's tempting to send my king's army back, but I'm going to rely on these apprentices for now. Nuts, they do take 2 turns. This just became a little bit tougher choice. Apprentices take 100. The elders only take 70. And right now, with enemy units closing in, I'm just going to make elders. A few of them. I'll get the apprentices later once I have time to upgrade. But now that I know these units are inbound, I need to definitely do something about them. Oh, nuts. Just found a better spot to put that human city, by the way, while I was thinking about that. If I put it down this way, I can get the Pillar of the Stylites in the territory. That, combined with the Enchanted Tree, would be really good. But I'm not quite there yet. Gotta think first about defending my land. It's tempting to get Phantasm Warriors now, but the Frostlings are pretty heavy on the elemental damage, and the Phantasm Warriors aren't really the best counter to that. The cold damage would damage them more than the physical would. I think it's probably best to stick with this School of Enchantment. I would hope I could research it a little bit faster, but if I can get these guys to delay at all, maybe even bait them by sending the Wisp towards their land. Well, I wonder if that city is unguarded. It's unlikely, but I think it's worth checking out. I'll send this wisp up in this direction to kind of keep an eye on the mountains over there. They could technically get to it on this turn, but I'm hoping they don't see it, unless they decide to cut south. And I'd prefer they come this way rather than go after the human city. Especially since the human city just finished downsizing. Of course, I can cast Glyphs of Warding wherever I need to, pretty much whenever I need to. Alright, going to summon some wisps for the purpose of fighting with my other armies. For now, I'm going to get these guys a little bit more in this direction. Whoops. I don't want to send them out there. I'm kind of hoping I could grab those haste berries, but I'd have to cut them through the mountains. I don't want to go around because I don't want them getting jumped by that whole army. Summon a wisp here. Probably just summon more of those every turn and just use them to get in the way once I have my battle. Right now I need as many units as I can get. Okay, so I already know she's on the horse. Don't have to worry about it. She's got that. Alright, I did produce another flamer down here. It doesn't look like I'm going to need him right now, so I'll move him up to join these other units if he needs to. And I got a feeling these guys are going to end up arriving just in the nick of time to join up with everybody else. Got a storehouse done in this city, so that's good. Growth is important here with all those really valuable. I think each of those gives you 20 gold, so that's huge. 5 turns to grow. Gonna want an observatory anyway, so build that. I do have plenty of magic now. Very tempting to bring my king's army back, but since it's out here already, I really want to get this stuff too. Well, I have time to think about what they're bringing against me, so let's look at this. In total, it's 11 units, or no, yeah, 11 units. One of them is a tier 3 ogre. They've got a griffin. Obviously the dreadnought, who's only level 3, but has a very irritating ability considering they're going up against me. Of course, they can't get all of these units in this army, so many of them will still be vulnerable to frost. And the other nice thing is that these guys' damage is mixed between frost, and the same thing with the witches too. It's mixed between frost and other elements, and in the witches' case it actually kind of neutralizes. Although draconians are weak to frost, they're resistant to fire, obviously. Whoops. So, well, flamers are a bad example, but they do have that frost weakness, and that sort of counteracts each other to make them kind of a neutral unit. One thing I should check, though, is whether they've got Inflict Stun already. They don't. So that'll make this battle a little easier, but I need to keep an eye on that. He's a sorcerer, too, so he could get the Inflict Stun ability. So in actuality, the sooner I fight this battle, the better. Because I don't want them to get that before I do, which is just another reason to be researching it now, because that would put us on even ground if we could both get it. Alright, just going to kind of fly over here. They typically, no, they don't leave their cities unguarded. I can see their leader though, Santa Claus. There he is. He has Throw Chicken, some other fairly basic stuff, Inflict Brain Rot, which is not a very particularly good ability. I think he's getting it from the wyvern that he's riding. Nothing too spectacular on him that stands out in terms of abilities. He doesn't even have Inflict Stun, so I'll just have to keep an eye on him coming up from behind too. That would actually bring the total to 14 units that I'd have to fight, depending on what else they bring. Well, I'm going to be gathering all those wisps together to help. Keep sending this one along the river. Rivers are usually fairly safe to explore unless you run into lost souls, but typically you just run away from them. Alright. In Brittlebrush. Might build a crusher just because I can make it fast. They don't... I don't know. Crushers aren't really a very good counter to anything that they have, though. They're kind of designed for taking out units with shields and stuff like that, or for sieging a city. In an open field battle, they're not that helpful. I think I'd rather take 2 turns to get another flamer and just overwhelm them with flamers for now. I'm gonna have a lot of flamers. Okay, Raptor's done here. I don't know if he'll make it to the front line in time to be particularly helpful. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and get this. Alright, they don't want to come out after me, so I will come after them. My king does have inflict stun, I think. Did I get that on him yet? Yep, there it is. Let's go around this way. That boar will probably come charging out, so I'm just going to go ahead and start throwing stuff now. I'm going to try to convert the spiders. That would be a really nice addition to my army. Let's see if I can lure the troll with the flyer into a counterattack by the longbows. It's a hunter spider, so I do have to be careful for that. Can you reach anything? No, not quite. Let's see what happens here. Oh, they didn't come after me. Okay, well then I'll just sit there shooting this guy until he dies. That ought to get their attention. Going after the king. He's pinned behind a wall, so he should be nice and safe there. There are plenty of other things that can kill that spider. Try to convert. Oh, right, you can't convert animals. To have actually befriend animal. Well, in that case, I'll just hit it. Leaving the king. Plenty of shoot at that guy. Alright, so at this point, who needs a promotion? Everybody's pretty much at gold rank in this army, or champion. I'll just give it to the longbows. Goodbye. Ouch. 49 damage total. That's kind of a nice item to have, since I don't really have a lot of other healing options. Alright, so the plan here, I think, is to go get the dungeon, and go get the Forbidden Sanctum, which is usually a pretty tough battle, embark across the water, and then go straight back to fight the Draconian, or to fight the Frostlings. So it's a little bit of a roundabout way, but if things go bad on the front line, I should be able to take out enough units that my king's army could finish off the rest. Seems like a good enough idea to me. Plus, I might get some nice items out of these that could be helpful for either these guys or the heroes at the front line. Wish I could just get them one space up onto the mountain on this turn. I mean, some of them I guess I could go like this. Those ones are all a lot more mobile than the others anyway. And let's put the wisp with them. Alright, so we just gotta keep an eye on Santa and see what he does next. I'm just gonna mass produce units like crazy. Looks like he's holding back a little bit. Unless he's on this road up here. difficult to tell what he's doing. His turn's over now, so wherever he's at, he's staying there. Just gonna move one space at a time, very carefully. Okay, it looks like they've fallen back for now. Trying to get a little bit better angle on that road. I think this looks good. I can see the whole road from as far as that point with the wisps where they currently are. Now this should give everyone time to kind of gather together on this hill, on this mountain. And I think they can grab the haste berries if they need to go that way and move really quickly wherever they need to go. That's a fairly decent position for them to be in right now. If they were strong enough, I'd have them clear that dungeon, but I don't think that group's strong enough yet. Although I guess I wouldn't know without checking what's in there. Alright, you guys go in here. I'm a little nervous putting a city up over here now, but I think it's going to have to happen. There are production resources right there I'd like to grab sometime too. There's a lot of stuff still sitting around in my land that I haven't had a chance to claim yet. Alright, I can at least get this army in range to be helpful on the next turn. I might reorganize some of the units so that the flamers are all kind of together, and that the units that have forestry can move through this forest here faster, that they're closer together too. Also got a elder. That's useful. Get him up there. Right, back over here. Production is important for this city. It really doesn't have much. So I'll go ahead and put the Masters Guild in there. Unfortunately, that leaves me without enough to make a raptor, which kind of makes me reconsider. The amount of money I'm spending is just a lot, so... You know what? Once I get that dungeon, my production problems for the city are pretty much going to be gone. Borders will grow in 6 turns, and I could get a laboratory and observatory in about that same amount of time, a little less. So I'm going to go that route and expand the borders with an observatory, and then use that to boost the city's production. That's a cheaper way of doing it, and allows me to make another Draconian Raptor. Alright, let's see what's in here. Very likely victory. Do have a Manticore Rider I'm going to have to take out, so, but I think I'll be okay. This is a pretty good army. Alright, looks like they're going to charge me, which is definitely good news. Now, it's a human Manticore Rider, so let's look at what its abilities are. Ah, that's right, they get Devastating Charge. It's good. There's a lot better things the Manticore Riders can get. I wonder if Inflict Crippling Wounds is part of it too. That might just be part of being a Manticore Rider. Anyway, I'm going to want a tougher defensive unit to take that hit. Definitely not my king. The Devastating Charge and charge bonuses would do just an obscene amount of damage. Even if he's on defense, I wouldn't want to mess with that. The halfling could always get lucky, but if she doesn't, she's going to be in serious trouble. Better to use the flyer with that extra defense. Or actually, probably better to use the raptor and let the flyer do a flank hit. Yeah, I'll do that. Raptors are a little more expendable than the flyers are at this point, and they have the same defense, so put him here. Now, he's going to let his guard down after hitting him, which should make him pretty easy to kill. I'll let my flyers hang out here. Flamers in the back. Just make sure nobody else can hit any of my other units, which all look good as far as I can tell. May want to consider casting a spell here, just because I don't want to mess with that Manticore Rider. I'm going to wait until he lets his guard down. See what my king's options are. Magic Fist, Chain Lightning, Skin of Oil, Star Blades. All sorts of pretty good stuff. Starblades is really cheap. I'm going to give Starblades to my king now. That'll just boost his range attack even more. Surprised they didn't go after the king since his guard is down. Oh, you losers. They're just gonna wait. Well, they basically neutralized their devastating charge ability doing that, though. And kind of opened themselves up to a lot of chances for nasty things, although not a particularly high chance for anything in particular. Berserker. Well, things could get ugly here kind of quickly if I'm not careful. Could do a lot of damage to that bunch of units over there if I can get my flamer in range. I think I know what I want to do with her. I'm going to leave that raptor on defense. I'm actually tempted to attack with it because I could take away his movement. You know what? I think I've got an idea. Longbow should probably go after those berserkers. They're going to be a problem. If it wasn't for those other berserkers out there, I could do this. Maybe the flyer would be a better candidate. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull the halfling back to where only one of those berserkers could hit her. Turn her around so she's facing the front. He would do quite a bit of damage to her, but I actually wouldn't mind if he took that bait. I'm going to then use her to cast... I'm torn here. Either Slayer's Doubt or Instant Wrath. Both would be good. I'm thinking about putting Instant Wrath on the raptor and then just attacking the Manticore Rider with the raptor. I like that idea. I think I'm going to do that. I was thinking about Slayer's Doubt, but this is better. He's going to actually damage himself a lot more than he's going to damage me. The only thing is those berserkers that are out there that kind of have me a little worried. I don't want to lose units right now. I almost wonder if maybe I should have put it on the flyer because he's at a better angle to avoid being hit by those things. But maybe I can use the flyer to guard him. Okay, well, he's definitely going for this. Okay, did just a ton of damage to that guy. Might want to give him a nourishing meal. He is out of movement points, so he can't do anything. This guy could run in and do a lot of damage, but I don't think it'd be enough to kill me. That one's a actually, both of those are monster hunters, so they don't really threaten me as much. I think I might move my king here and just heal this guy and have him wait. And use the flyers to help the elves fight the berserker. Can soften them up and then actually just completely negate their... Oh yeah, no, they should kill him pretty easily. There we go. And killing momentum means they get to stay on defense too, which is nice. Alright, so have the king come down here and just give a nourishing meal to this guy. Top off his health. These guys could go after the flamers, but they won't kill him in one hit, so I'm just going to stay here and hit 2 of them on this turn. Maybe be bait. So they go after something besides the raptor, which they can get a nasty flank attack on. That raptor might die on this turn, but I'm hoping Instant Wrath keeps him alive. Okay, they're going for the halfling. That's fine. They just blocked off their path to the halfling with the berserker, so kind of split all their units. Okay, I've got this now. Yeah, they split all their units up pretty poorly. Okay, so the Manticore Rider's guard is down now because I used all of his movement on the last turn, which is a little advantage to using up all their action points. So that leaves him vulnerable to flank attacks and all that other good stuff. I'm going to target the groups of units here first. And try to figure out the most efficient way to kill everyone here. The elves would do probably a respectable amount of damage to that Manticore Rider, but probably not enough. My king's got higher chances to stun it and stuff like that, and I still think he should probably be the one targeting it. So I'm going to have him back up just a bit. Okay, got the stun. Figured I probably would. If I could get this to where he kills that monster hunter, he could move on to the next one. So I'm going to use the longbows to help get the berserker off of this guy, freeing him up to move. And then I can use the halfling, even though that monster hunter's pretty close, to do some damage to this guy, make sure that the flyer will kill him. Ooh, she almost outright killed him. Alright, he can go here. It gives him a little extra movement to come over here and engage that monster hunter. And then the raptor is free to finish him off. There we go. And that just leaves the manticore rider, who is about to bleed out. Now I can heal, which I should definitely do. I could have tried converting one of those berserkers or monster hunters now that I think of it. It's a bit late now. Can't convert the manticore riders because of mind control immunity, but that's alright. Is there anything else my king can help with? I don't think so. I could cast, like... Oh no, I don't want to cast any of those spells. I was thinking maybe harmonizing energy. But nope, that's okay. I will... Let's see, what do these guys get? They get something at gold rank. I'll let them have this kill. Alright, so that takes care of that. Gives me a tiger-tooth, saber-tooth chariot, and an ogre. That's really, really good for me right now. I pretty much know right where they're going. Straight to the front line. I'll keep my king's army intact. This group seems to be doing well together. Alright, and I'll get that next turn. Ooh, I'm going to save those casting... I'm going to save these upgrade points for her. I like to wait and see what's in those forbidden sanctums before picking something for her. Monster Slayer or something like that might come in really handy, so I'll just have her wait. Tempted to get healing to help heal the other units in the stack. Tempted to get that now. And you know what? That would probably be good in the battle anyway. That would make sure everybody's health is all topped off going into the next battle. He's down by like 30. He's down by like 30. Okay, I'll just get healing. That's alright. And probably a little extra range strength. No. I'll save it for now and think about that after I've moved units in there. Okay, my Explorer Wisp up here. I can't imagine there's anything particularly worth running over there for right now. Nothing out here either. Oh, hello. Roger Peacock. Now, how do you feel about Santa? No, he's met Jazargo, but he has not met Santa yet. Lame. You guys need to go south. Alright. Well, let's pop back over to Jazargo and see if he's met Santa yet. I'll just go through the diplomacy menu. Alright. Negotiate. Nope. They've just met each other. And I really don't care about either of you so much right now. As long as you're not trying to kill me. Alright, well. To give it some time then, I guess. For the now, it's just gonna be me. These guys can all stay where they are. The Flamers, like I was saying, I think I want to try to get them on that mountain. They can't make it there, though, on this turn, so let's have them all pile on top of this dungeon. Just get an unholy swarm of units out here. Okay, they can... wonder if there's a quicker route. No, this is pretty much the quickest and most direct route for them to get back. I'm gonna have the wisp stay where it is. Okay, looks good. Want to cast a spell probably before the end of this turn. I have the mana for it, so I may as well continue to do that. Just to get diversify my damage a little bit. Probably will keep getting those wisps. There's just gonna be a mess. And the nice thing is they're all just easily expendable throwaway units, so it really doesn't matter if they die. If I get a big enough force out here, I might actually be in a position to attack the Frostlings. I should probably keep an eye on what's going on down here. Most likely they'd come right through this mountain pass. I think I'd probably be okay. Yeah, they would come through that mountain pass and I'd see them. I just need to keep an eye on it between turns. Okay, so they've fallen back again. Finally got my human settler. I'll start sending him out in this direction. The city where I was talking about a minute ago. Okay, this guy just got an upgrade, and I'm thinking he can get frost protection. I don't think... Can the warlord get the one that gives frost protection to all the units in the army? I think that is something he can get. That would be a nice thing to get on him, but I'm not seeing it yet. It's probably better to give all my units like ranged command since I have all those flamers with him. Or melee command if I pair the wisps with him. I think he already has defense command, yeah. Well, since he is a full-fledged army leader now, I'm going to give him either melee or ranged command. I'm going to say ranged command because they have their firebomb ability and it hits multiple units, that actually does even more damage. So I'll try to keep the flamers with the dwarf. Also because I have a lot of flamers and a lot of other support units. Taken long enough, I got another flamer produced at this city. I can probably start thinking about doing something different here. The city would make decent chargers, so I'll probably start upgrading it in that route because of the Pillar of the Stylites. I think that would be a good decision. Chargers cost like 75. I don't think they're that expensive. So I'll go with the War Hall first. Got plenty of money for all this stuff too. Oh, Dwarf Comet. I'm getting extra production from that. So that's helping. Alright, and then this city here... I could go ahead and get a Master's Guild in here. Or even a laboratory and an observatory. Yeah, those are extra beneficial to me as a sorcerer, so I'm going to keep grabbing those. Yep, production increases by 40%, so that's part of the reason why this city's got the buff it has. I'm going to go ahead on that note and give priority to the Siege Workshop. Alright. Get more raptors. Keep sending everyone forward. I'll grab those haste berries whenever I can. The sooner I get back, the better. There we go. Alright, and I think I should be good to go attacking this thing. Let's pop our heads in and see what's in there. A lot of martyrs, succubus. Oh, this shouldn't be a very difficult battle at all. This should be a really easy battle as far as these forbidden sanctums go. Yeah. I do have that mass curse to deal with. I could try to disjunct it. That doesn't seem like a good use of disjunct, though. My units are pretty happy as it is, so the curse isn't going to make them upset, necessarily. It does lower their resistance and defense. Not too worried about it. I don't think they'll do that much damage to me. I'll save my casting points for another wisp. Alright, let's figure out how we're going to attack these people. I'm thinking this angle right in here looks pretty good, so I'll move over there. Come on. There you go. Can probably lure them with a firebomb from the flamers, I think. Probably haven't seen me yet. Okay, get these guys a little bit closer, and they should be, if not in range now, really close. Okay, they're just outside of range. So on the next turn, they can move up. I may just pile some of the tougher units in that gap there. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. This should work. Okay, so I need to launch this attack now. Put the raptors up front, the flyers here. Move these guys forward. Now make sure that they can hit. And they can. Do a little damage to get this thing started. Put my king right in the middle, and the archers probably here. Haven't decided on the haven't decided on her role in this. She can convert from that distance, so that may be something to keep in mind. Now the succubus can fly right over me, but they won't be able to get through all those units. Ah, crap. That's not good. That lowered resistance makes you more vulnerable to seduction, so I'm going to have to take her out quickly. Okay, so he's in a really annoying spot. He's looking right at two of my units. I'm not sure if I can shoot over him without a penalty. I need to try to kill her. Now the flyer could just rush out and devastate her. I could put instant wrath on it to help, but that's still a lot of units that would counterattack. However, that's still a better idea. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Instant wrath on her draconian flyer. This ought to be fun. Just go right up here. This guy can hit like 3 units with that firebomb. I already know I'm gonna do that. Okay, he's back under my control now, which means those martyrs are in trouble. Alright, and my king still has room left to attack. Probably going to try to see if I can stun her before she gets close and messes stuff up. And I think I got it. It's kind of hard to tell through all that, but I'm pretty sure I saw a stun pop up. Fortunately, I don't think the elves can hit anything because that pillar is in the way, so I'll put them on defense and let stuff get closer. Flyer's killing momentum, so goes back on defense, and we are good. Okay, they're going all out on those poor raptors, so I'm going to want to patch them up a bit. This is just not acceptable. Okay, the archers have some shots now. Especially if they move up. I should have enough units to kill all of these on this turn. Let's go ahead and throw another firebomb over there. Move the archers over and have them take out the succubus, which I think they can hit. That's just about everything. Let's go ahead and heal you. And my king has movement, and the other guy's got movement. And zap him, and then finish this guy off. And that should be it. Okay, so now that's firmly under my control. Oh! Oh! No way! Oh, that's awesome! I just got Summon Obsidian Dragon. Oh, I know what I'm going to be using my magic on for a while. I'm going to summon me some of those. Oh, that's just OP at this point in the game. And 33 casting points to help me along the way. Well, before I do anything else, I'm going to have an Obsidian Dragon in 4 turns. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Oh, the Frostling's days are numbered. Alright, armies embarked, going back. And I'm just going to summon dragons like crazy for a while. I don't even think I'm going to use my mana for anything else. Oh, that is fantastic. Alright, let's not get too carried away here. Got other things I want to do. Let's see, those are haste berries over there. I'll go grab those just because I get free movement and can explore more. Tigrans have a city here. It's worth kind of noting where that is. I don't have open borders with them, so I can't really just go in and look at it. Let's see what these guys can spot out here. Just one lone white witch. Have them camp there for now. These guys could move down 1 space and over 1. Now that leaves a blank gap. I'll leave them on the mountain here. A little bit further away from my other units. Okay. My secondary army's pretty much finally arrived. I've also got these elders coming in. Raptors will be behind them in a little bit. So I'm just going to mount a huge force of fairly lousy units and just go take the Frostlings out before they become a big problem. Let's see, I'll have you guys bunch up together, I think. In fact, what I've got here is probably enough. I've got almost 3 full stacks. Maybe wait until a couple of the... Oh, no, wait. I'll probably wait to launch the attack until these guys show up. The ogre, closely followed by that raptor. That'll give me the edge I need, I think. Alright. Let's get you up on the mountain. He can't move anywhere. Keep everyone else where they're at for the moment, but we'll probably be launching an attack on the next turn. Alright, let's go ahead and pass it over to the next turn. Oh man, this right here is just awesome. Oh, hello there. He is just out of movement, can't quite reach my wisp. I wonder if I could get the other one down there. The 2 of them might be able to gang up on him, eventually stun him and take him out. They got decent enough resistance, but something to consider. Might even have other units that could join. Probably not, though. I think they're too far away. Hear more spell casting going on out here, so they're gotta be up to nothing good. Alright. That all looks pretty good. So I'll go through those notifications in the next episode, but for now it's time for me to wrap this up. Really nothing else to say at this point. You all pretty well know what's going on. Just units pouring into this area to go after the Frostling, and yeah, Obsidian Dragon's on the way, so all in all, a lot of good things going on right now. Alright everyone, thanks for watching, and I will see you in episode 9.